All right, so let's get into it. My name is Mike Collette. I'm the owner of Prototype Training Systems. I'm just going to go through the tutorial on how to perform the Romanian deadlift, aka the RDL. So this is just an old video of me performing some RDLs here. So just the first thing to notice when I pick the barbell up, just going to make sure you deadlift the bar up from the ground. If you're taking it off some pins or a rack, then this obviously isn't applicable. But the position that we don't want to think about is our feet are going to be underneath our hips, hands outside of the hips. You can have a mixed grip or an overhand grip. Really doesn't matter, but if the weight starts to fall out of your hands and the grip becomes the biggest factor, then you're going to want to use something like a mixed grip or use some straps or something like that. But first thing is we're going to push the hips back and hinge at the waist. Notice as I do this, I'm keeping my head relatively neutral. So you can debate this piece here, but I like to keep the nice neutral head versus like throwing my head back up. If you're coaching people on this movement in particular, then maybe head up may be a helpful thing to start with. But again, neutral head neck position would be ideal. And we're hinging down, so maintaining that neutral spine. Back is nice and flat. We're not creating any shearing forces on the spine here. Notice how the barbell also is nice and close to my shins. I keep it close to my body. So think like you're pushing the barbell back into you as you push your hips back to an imaginary wall. Knees are soft, not locked out, right? So we're not keeping the knees locked out. We're not doing a ton of bend. That knee position shouldn't, or knee angle shouldn't change throughout the movement here. And we're going to hinge down to your range of motion. So this would be my range of motion before my back would really start to round at this point. So that might be different for each person, but you should feel this in the back of the leg. So in those hamstrings, we're using the hamstrings and glutes primarily in this, and the lower back as a stabilizer, not a mover for the Romanian deadlift. So again, just going back, full rep here on the movement. Hips back, hinge, head stays neutral, knee angle's not changing, finishing that extension at the top, and that is the RDL.